Well, this is a tad bit alarming. Russia has a new pal in Syria, Cuba. U.S. officials telling Fox News they have evidence that Cuban special forces are now on the ground in Syria. This coming as new reports showing Iran has also sent in hundreds of troops. And this is happening as Russia escalates its involvement in Syria. Plus, tonight, their brand new Fox News poll showing that the vast majority of Americans, 70%, say President Obama does not have a clear strategy to handle the situation in Syria. South Carolina Senator and 2016 GOP presidential candidate Lindsey Graham goes on the record. Good evening, sir. Should we be alarmed by the fact that Cuba is now there helping?
New Hampshire.
What?
Well, this is the coalition from hell. You got Cuba, you got Iran, you got Russia. All we need is North Korea and Venezuela, and we'll have a full house.
All right. Well, how concerned should we be that it's now that people who used to be our enemies, I mean, Iran, Cuba, and Russia are now in Syria helping Assad, who President Obama said had to leave?
Well, number one, you should be concerned because your commander-in-chief has no idea what he's doing. Assad being in power is a nightmare for us. The war in Syria never ends. The Syrian people are not going to accept him as their leader. So when you got Russia, Iran, and Cuba fighting for Assad, it's at our expense. The refugees will never stop flowing. The war will never end. And ISIL is loving this because the mortal enemy of ISIL is Iran, and it's going to help them recruit. This is a nightmare for the region, nightmare for America, and everybody, including now Cuba, is walking all over Obama. This needs to stop.
Well, you know, we all know what Putin's strategy is. He's made it very plain. I think it's rather astounding. I think it's astounding that 70% of Americans say that President Obama has no strategy. That means he's not doing, you know, there is no foreign policy in that direction.
When will we realize that President Obama doesn't know what he's doing? He's the guy that withdrew from Iraq when people told him you shouldn't in the military. He's the guy that drew a line against Assad and said you better not cross it. Assad's going to be standing. He's going to leave. He's the guy that said the ISIL was the JV team. He's the guy that said bin Laden's dead, al-Qaeda's decimated. At what point in time do we all realize he doesn't know what he's doing? Syria is a nightmare. We're never going to destroy ISIL from the air. Russia has a strategy to fight for Assad. We have abandoned our friends in Syria, and we're going to get hit here at home because ISIL is going to get stronger, not weaker, and they're coming after us because Obama's allowed them to get stronger on his watch.
What do you think of last night's debate? 30 seconds and I got to go.
If you like big government, you won. Last night's debate was about big government and weak national security. I couldn't believe what I was hearing on national security. None of the people on the stage last night has a clue about how to defend this country. The biggest threat to America is not climate change. It's radical Islam with a weapon of mass destruction.
Senator, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us from North Conway, New Hampshire.
North Conway, New Hampshire. Hey! We did it.
You did it.